Greetings, I'm Tim of Govberg, and welcome to the world of Officine Panerai. Today I'll be your guide to the proper care, usage, and maintenance of your Panerai Radiomir 1940 3 days GMT Power Reserve automatic in stainless steel. It's important to note that this PAM 658 is an automatic winding timepiece, but it can be wound manually should the watch run down. Now, take the crown in the first position. As it pops out of its threaded sleeve, you'll feel the pop, and then turn it in a clockwise direction to fully energize the power reserve up to its rated maximum autonomy of 72 hours. It's important to note that only 30 turns are necessary to start the balance, and you'll note the advance of the movement with the tick of the subseconds hand at 9 o'clock. At that point, you can put the watch on the wrist, and the course of kinetic action on the wrist will wind it via the micro rotor. However, if you want to wind it to capacity, take note, you cannot accidentally overwind this automatic winding timepiece, as its bridle style mainspring will simply slip and relieve any excess strain. So wind until the hand of the power reserve at 5 o'clock is even with 72. At that point, you know the watch is fully energized. Now, it's important to note that the crown has 3 positions. The first position is winding. The intermediate position is used to set the local time hour hand. Now, you'll note that the watch continues to tick. The seconds hand continues to advance, the balance continues to oscillate. This is so you can set that hour locally. This represents the time zone where you are, as you jump forward or backwards through time zones, and the local hour hand will also drive the date forward and backwards. Now, the outermost position moves every indication in sync. You'll note in this position, the local hour and minute move, the second time zone, the blackened index just below, moves, and the AM-PM distinction for that second time zone advances just beneath its underimposed underneath the subseconds. You'll note that it is a small ecru colored triangle. That distinguishes, for instance, between 4 AM and 4 PM. Now, once all indications are set, simply return the crown to its position flush to the case. It's important to note that to set the date, you do set the local hour hand. That's how you advance the date. Now, the watch features a number of functions that are sensitive to handling. First and foremost, the water-resistant performance of the watch. 100 meters as rated from the factory, there are some handling restrictions. First, consider that 100-meter water resistance applies to the watch. No leather strap is water resistant, as leather is a natural porous material that will degrade in the presence of moisture, so it's important to swap out to a textile strap or a rubber strap before taking this watch into the water. Moreover, the 100-meter water resistance is not a static feature of the watch. As lubricants will age, seals will dry up, and over time, water resistance will ebb. Therefore, Panerai recommends an annual water test with an authorized service center, ideally just before the start of the aquatic season, to make sure that the watch still performs as advertised in the water. Finally, it's important to note that the crown should always be threaded into its sleeve, flush against the case, when the watch is submerged or when there is water on the case, as attempting to thread out the screw, wind, or set time when there is water on the case will introduce water to the movement. Water in the movement becomes water in the dial. Mechanical damage spreads to cosmetic damage, and pretty soon the watch is a greenhouse, at which point damage may be catastrophic. So always take care to screw the crown down and keep it disused until the watch is completely dry. Now, another handling restriction pertains to magnetism. Unlike water, this is not an existential threat to your watch, but the balance of your watch oscillates on a small metallic hairspring. It is the heartbeat of your watch and the core of the timing organ. So if the hairspring is magnetized, the watch will keep erratic time. Now, this can happen because the watch is placed in proximity to speakers, subwoofers, refrigerator doors, purses and wallets that have magnetic closures, and of course, professional magnetic resonance imaging equipment. If you suspect your watch has become magnetized, take it to a factory authorized service center where equipment's available to quickly and easily demagnetize your watch. Finally, shock and damage. It's important to note that violent activities such as tennis, golf, batting, or firearms marksmanship, or rough motorcycling such as dirt biking or mountain biking can damage a fine mechanical timepiece, and it is best to take the watch off and keep it disused during these activities, as all of them pose a hazard to the movement and its proper function. Now, the watch should be serviced on a regular basis. Ideally, have the watch evaluated at an authorized service center when it's taken for its annual water test, thereby ensuring water resistance, physical condition and integrity, and chronometric performance are all evaluated by professionals authorized, trained, and equipped by the factory. Now, should work be required, service exclusively with an authorized service center, such as an independent authorized retailer of Panerai or a factory store or boutique, as these agencies exclusively have the trained personnel, specialized equipment, and original factory replacement parts to maintain the integrity of your watch both as an instrument and as an investment. Moreover, these agencies exclusively are authorized to invest any parts or labor placed in the watch, invested in the watch, with a factory service warranty honored by Officine Panerai. Now, you can also visit our website, govbergwatches.com, and call, email, or text our experts who will be more than happy to talk you through every phase of the care, maintenance, and ownership experience of this or any Panerai timepiece.